What I found with filmmakers and musicians, let's try to shorten that time for pre-production. Things that they have that cost a lot of money, that is going to ultimately take money away from their budget for their actual film. Let's see if I can do something to help them shorten that time to actually get involved in the film itself. Because at the end of the day, as a software guy, that's really what I do for a lot of customers. I'm always trying to find something that can get them from A to B much shorter.
Welcome to Playbook AI Partners Podcast, the show that turns AI from overwhelming into actionable.
Your host, Sandy Kibling, is the chief playmaker, helping business owners and teams stop chasing shiny tools and start using AI in a way that actually moves the numbers, saving time, reducing busy work, and driving growth.
Each episode features industry experts and real-world tactics, providing clear, do this next plays, simple AI workflows, and practical guardrails so you can use AI safely, execute with confidence, and get results.
Let's run the play.
Hello, everyone, and before we get into the show, just a quick 90-second update. What would you do with 5, 10, or even 15 extra hours each week? Maybe spend time growing your business, finally finishing that project, or maybe just closing the laptop before dinner for once. At Playbook AI Partners, we believe that AI should give you time back, not give you one more complicated thing to figure out. That's why we created the AI Solution Locker, a growing collection of practical, bite-sized solutions designed to help you solve real problems quickly. In 20 minutes or less, you heard right, 20 minutes or less, you can learn how to streamline those repetitive tasks, create content faster, organize information, build simple automations, and get more accomplished without becoming a technology expert. And here's a bonus. No endless or outdated courses, no confusing tech talk, just open the AI Solution Locker, choose the solution you need, and put it to work. And here's another bonus. You don't have to do it alone. And in this current wave of AI, I don't think you should. Inside the Huddle, our Playbook AI Partners community, you'll connect with other curious business owners and professionals who are learning, experimenting, and building with AI. Join live sessions, quarterly training boot camps, ask questions, access helpful resources, and get the support you need to move from AI overwhelm to confident action. So stop spending those hours trying to piece everything together on your own. Get the solution. Let's run the play together and get your time back. I would love to have you join the Huddle and get to meet you and help you on this journey. So visit Playbook AI Partners and step into the AI Solution Locker and the Huddle today. And now on with the show.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, The Real Impact of AI on Film and Media Beyond the Hype. We hear often about how AI in the creative space takes away the creativity. Well, is this true, or is it just wrong in general? Well, today I want to go beyond hype and explore how AI is changing the path from concept to execution, helping creators, startups, and businesses move faster, reduce bottlenecks, and bring bold ideas to life. To help us get into this topic, I have Ryan Vinson on the show. Ryan is a fractional CTO and founder of Film Pilot AI, helping filmmakers turn screenplays into full pre-production plans with AI. He also founded Versus Media, a streaming platform supporting independent artists since 2001. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so nice. Well, I love getting into this topic. I love the creative space. We often talk a lot about tech stuff, so it's a little bit of a refresher to get into the creative space. So let's get into it. Maybe you can start by sharing your experience and how it has led you on the current journey you're on today with AI.
I've been involved in tech for more or less 30 years now, so there's a long way I could go back, but I'll keep it a little shorter. Versus Media in general has been helping indie filmmakers and musicians, like she said, since about 2001. And as far as streaming goes, And ultimately, what I found is a lot of this stuff has come from talking with filmmakers, talking with musicians, and seeing that there's always this desire and need for some sort of a service to help them because their budgets are usually short
Mm.
and they don't have a lot of money, so they're always trying to skip ahead on certain things, and sometimes that causes problems with their pre-production and etc. So with FilmPilot.ai, it was something I decided I'm working as a fractional CTO with a lot of AI companies, working on a bunch of different projects that are basically AI is supposed to be there to shorten whatever it is you're trying to do. People are afraid AI is going to replace humans at this point, but AI in general is only as good as the prompts you're writing, and if it's not consistent, it's not going to be that good. So, what I found with filmmakers and musicians, let's try to shorten that time for pre-production. Things that they have that cost a lot of money that is going to ultimately take money away from their budget for their actual film. Let's see if I can do something to help them shorten that time to actually get involved in the film itself. Because at the end of the day, as a software guy, that's really what I do for a lot of customers. I'm always trying to find something that can get them from A to B much shorter. And software is the way to do that because ultimately you can take a long time writing by hand, sketching out all your storyboards, going through the screenplay piece by piece to figure out all the shots. How much budget am I going to take? All of these things are ultimately what pre production does. So I decided, okay, these are all the tools I've used for other AI companies that have helped them shorten whatever process it is I'm trying to do. And since I'm here in LA, I'm involved with a lot of filmmakers. I'm seeing, the industry itself is going through a lot of issues these days with, mergers and budgets and whatever. So I decided, let me see if I can kind of help the indies at least catch up to what the big boys are doing by creating a product that ultimately will help them skip ahead. It's not gonna replace the actual filmmaking itself. It'll help them jump ahead to the actual production part of it. So all they need to do is upload a screenplay, and then it's just gonna iterate out all the pieces that are necessary. That maybe some of them are more important to them than others, but in general, these are the key items that somebody's gonna have for a pre-production, especially on a bigger budget. Now the indies can have it as well much faster.
So let me just kind of digest this for a minute. So, and I'm an author. So, boy, you go to a cocktail party with a bunch of writers, and AI is a scandalous topic. I mean, let's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because people immediately go to, oh, you're cheating the system. You're using AI to write a book, or in this case, to write a screenplay, whatever it may be. But what I'm hearing you say is, look, there are certain things that we can save time on, which we'll get into more in a minute. And we're not taking the creativity out of it. You're still working on that, but it's kind of like we're taking out the pieces to shorten that to allow you to really focus on the creativity, the story, the screenplay, whatever it may be.
That's more or less correct because, at the end of the day, computers really are doing that on a lot of different things anyway for us. I mean,
Mhm.
writing a Word document, I mean, at one point everyone had to type those out, and then we had to use our little whiteouts in order to fix it, and that took a long time. Computers came along and you could make a Word, you can type out your doc, you can, fix it, whatever. Spreadsheets, same way. And then ultimately, in film, we've got things like there was a time 20 years ago when CGI was kind of seeming the same way. People suddenly hated what it was doing to practical effects, as it's basically called, whenever they're actually like modeling out everything with clay or they're making all the little pieces and then they're shooting the film of that. CGI came along as a computer version and allowed them to kind of skip ahead then as well. A bunch of people didn't like it, but now how many of these blockbuster movies are all like massively using CGI now? So, AI is just the next version of that. And it does, I mean, unfortunately, it does kind of take, there are problems with certain things that AI is taking jobs away from certain people. And in some ways, CGI kind of did the same way from the people that did the practical effects as well. It's just AI is affecting every industry,
Yeah.
everything. Like you said, authors and there is ways that sure you can. I mean, people are writing books really fast now and churning them out, throwing them on Amazon very quickly, and then, the joke is people are finding prompts actually still printed out within the actual books themselves because they didn't bother actually reading what they published to see that their prompts are still actually in what was
Mm.
printed. So,
Yeah.
there are ways that yeah, it can take away some of the creativity, but for me personally, I feel like it only helps the people like move ahead much faster that already know what they're doing. They're able to iterate much faster through processes. And as a fractional CTO side and some of the groups I'm in and what have you that are working with big corporations, these big corporations are budgeting $2,000 to $3,000 worth of AI tokens in
Mm.
per developer, per engineer, in order to have them iterate faster code and, rapid fire basically everything they're trying to build. It may take away quantity of engineers, but at the end of the day, it may help the ones that are more advanced move faster through whatever it is they're doing. So, there
Well,
is an avenue in there that yes,
yeah.
AI can take away a lot of a lot of time if you do it right, and hopefully people that already have talent will use it properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, forgive me for my lack of ignorance here. CGI is computer graphic, or what is the acronym for that? CGI?
Yeah, it's funny because as a software guy, CGI actually means something else as well.
Okay.
When I was first starting in this industry, Common Gateway Interface was kind of the
Mm.
original term CGI for a lot of software. And then computer graphics, and I'll apologize, I'm actually forgetting what the I stands for right now.
It's
But
okay.
yeah, it's computer graphics something or other. And that's, most of these blockbusters we're watching all use. Everyone's always saying, "Oh, that's CGI. Oh, that's CGI." Now they're saying, "Oh, that's AI. Oh, that's AI."
Yeah.
It's kind of coming to that point, and that stuff is moving every week. I mean, trying to keep up with it, it's pretty crazy just how fast a lot of that stuff is moving because people are trying to produce, films purely using AI now that are. I mean, there's entire film festivals already for it that I don't know.
Lord.
I'm on the fence on some of it, but it has its purposes. It has its uses,
Mhm.
and I'm using it in different avenues for different things.
Yeah.
So
Never want to sound preachy on the show. My humble opinion and that of others, AI is here, and either you're going to ride
yeah,
the wave or get swallowed up by it. But it doesn't mean that you don't have the power to choose,
right.
to what limits you want to use that as. And I think it can be a great tool to allow you to get the creative side faster. So maybe take me through this. Let's say I'm a screenwriter and I've got this great script or whatever, and I want to use Film Pilot. Kind of take me, if you will, like through a case study, how I could use the tool, maybe the time I would save, if something like that to help me get a better
Sure.
understanding of Film Pilot. Mhm.
Yeah, sure. So some of the examples that people have used it already for, uh, we do offer packages. So not everyone needs every aspect of the packages, but there are parts of them that maybe they need more than others. And if you have a screenplay, I mean, right now, and we're considering kind of making it a little more open ended. But right now, your screenplay needs to be pretty standard. It needs to fit the format that you would actually submit to a film studio, all the
Mhm.
proper lining and everything you need to have in it. And then once you have that ready to go, some filmmakers just screenwriters in this case also can just use Film Pilot as a way to maybe just see possibly what their stuff would end up looking like if it was turned into a film before they actually submit it to an actual real film studio. This is a way for them to, I want to see just what my main character might actually look like. An example of him, and I've described him very thoroughly in my script, but I kind of vision my version of what I see for him in my head, but let's see what it'll actually process. And AI would actually go through the script based upon all the details in the script of this person. This is a generated character profile of what they would look like. I mean, that's an example that somebody has used it for already just to see, like curiosity, because our smallest plan comes with that. There are there basically are other things that people like to use it for, like budget. An indie producer may say, I don't know. I think this film, if I shot it in LA, it's going to be too expensive. What if I chose Chicago as an example? And because it's closer to where I live anyway, but some of my film people are actually in LA, but what if I flew them here to Chicago instead? What would be the difference in the budget? So when they use Film Pilot, it will go through the script and kind of come up with, okay, based upon all the details in the script, you want to film it in Chicago. Will this script need any VFX? Will it need how many actors? All the different details, and it'll come up with a budget, and it'll even come up with a budget based upon every part of the, like screen by screen, basically, kind of breaking it down for you, what it ultimately will cost you, and then at the end of it, it'll show you the grand total of what it expects it, and you can compare. Okay, wow, in LA, this probably would have cost me 3 times as much versus filming it more local to myself in Chicago. Other people might like the storyboards, which we had someone who came to us. There are other websites that they focus like on one exact item, like they're really good, like you can just produce very good storyboards and you can also edit them. Ours is more of a package deal that is going to help you iterate, get out of pre-production faster, and move on to the full filmmaking process. They didn't need something so high tech. They just wanted some sample imagery to kind of show scene by scene what their film was actually going to look like before they went and shot it. Now they had something to go with. And that can possibly save them time. And that's hopefully what happened. I mean, we haven't heard back from them yet, but I don't even know if they've started their filming process, but that's the last we heard. So those are some good examples.
Wow, that is so amazing at what you can do, and just it's always that administrative side of the budget and all that piece, but if you could shave off I'm not in the industry, so I don't know, but you shave off even 15 to 20 hours a week, you're getting back that
Mm.
time to creativity, and I'm blown away by seeing what your character and stuff looks like. It's just that can even give you some different ideas that may take even the film in a different direction, so it sounds incredibly exciting and a great tool to use for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, it's funny. One of the early demo tests we were doing with somebody, we didn't record this, but it was kind of fun. We used the Ocean 11 script from, just found it online. I was just in the middle of a Zoom call and I just was searching online. Let's find us some film script to use. I found it and uploaded it. And actually, one thing I will say is filmpilot.ai, we say it's within 24 hours, but that's more of a, we're new, we're trying to get it started, and I didn't want to over promise and under deliver. So it's something that can happen much faster. It's just a matter of, okay, we want to make sure we give them enough time. So I tested the Ocean 11 script and it produced this character image, and it was strange because the character itself actually ended up looking a whole lot like George Clooney. And I was like, huh, well, that's who actually played the character in Ocean's 11. So
Wow, that's interesting. Now you also have a company Versus Media that, tell us more about that.
Versus Media is, I mean, that is the baby. I mean, that's where it all started for me. I started Versus Media in 2000 actually as a website design company because that's really where I got started. And basically in those days, I was just developing websites for indie filmmakers, musicians, other businesses, restaurants, you name it, it was anybody and everybody. But being here in LA, I started working with more filmmakers and musicians, and I realized they needed a lot of assistance elsewhere other than just websites. And so I started offering more or less a matchmaking service, if you will, that allowed musicians to find filmmakers and filmmakers to find musicians that were both looking for each other for film. So a filmmaker may have a film, they need a song, and a musician may have a song, they're looking for a film. And I matched them up, and that was the early 2001 to say 2010 era. I think it was roughly 1,000 films ballpark ended up using it. And as time kind of moved on, we kind of pivoted into the streaming atmosphere because that's kind of where things were going. The internet was better. People had better internet services at home. So we started producing films ourselves sometimes. We do a lot of exclusivities. We have several channels. We have Roku, Android, iPad, all of those. And we've kind of continued the mission of helping the independent artists around the world. And it's pretty easy. I know a lot of these bigger studios, you got to go through an entire process just to get distribution. We offer it direct. You're able to register and upload your content. We do check it to make sure it matches what we're wanting to show on our channels. But most of it, we allow in, and then we offer pay per view in the sense that for every view that your video gets, you're gonna make a little money. Make it kind of simple, and then people can use PayPal or Bitcoin Lightning. We make it kind of simple on which items they can use as well.
Yeah, so if someone recorded like a short, I want to make sure I'm tracking like a short YouTube kind of, I say short 30-minute video, they can post that up there to see if they can get visibility or to your point, if
Uh,
it's your song or,
yeah, it's really, I mean, we're trying to keep this directly just in like a TV channel or a film
okay,
studio, or
mhm,
so it wouldn't be as much as like YouTube. You can upload anything. You're walking your dog in the park and you saw something funny, you
yeah,
can post that. I mean, ours is meant for filmmaking, indie filmmaking. I mean,
okay,
it can be pretty broad, but as long as it kind of fits within the narrative, what you'd expect a short film, a feature film. We're not doing any of the vertical film styles that are becoming more popular, where it's kind of built for an iPhone. But we're sticking to more of the traditional routes, and then we have a lot of filmmakers. We have a lot of marketing agencies and musicians themselves that are uploading their music videos whenever they're done. Kind of an old school MTV, if you will. So
wow, that's so cool. We'll make sure link to both Film
sure.
Pilot and AI in your and versus media. Well, give us your thoughts on, crystal ball, kind of psychic, whatever it may be. But where do you see AI moving forward in the creative spaces, and in particular in filmmaking?
Well, considering AI changes week by week, that's a thing that I literally, by the time I say this, next week it's gonna change.
Yeah, that's
But,
true.
I mean, it's kinda challenging keeping up with it, but I'm using it in so many different industries on the fractional CTO side, and then on Film Pilot, I'm using it in different avenues, and I know there is a lot of hype as far as people trying to make entire films with it. So, I mean, we're coming very quickly into that area that people are going to be able to make that type of stuff. It's just the quality is not quite there. I mean, quantity wise, people can make it. But as far as where we're going to go with it, I mean, that's a hard thing to say as far as what it is. Right now, we have robots launching right now that are able to walk around town, and they've got cameras built into them that every single frame of what they're seeing, they're interpreting that using AI to be able to do processes. We
Mhm.
have factories in certain countries that are putting headsets on their employees that are watching and monitoring how they're doing items, how they're building and designing those items in order for the AI to train off of that. You've got, like you said, authors that are writing books that are doing that. So I see, there is danger. There's the old Terminator danger that people like to claim. Um, I see a lot of areas that it can continue helping. It's just going to continue allowing us to produce things faster and faster, and that's really where we are right now. It's just at some point, how much of it's going to be controlled by AI itself and how much is controlled by man, I don't know. That's a hard thing to say going forward, but 6
Yeah.
months ago, images looked terrible. Now, we've got forensic image people that are trying to pick apart images to prove whether they're authentic or not, because we're kinda already there.
Yeah,
So
we are. Yeah, it's so funny. My husband and I were in Vegas at a conference a few weeks ago, and the big talk was the Zooks, which is the robot cars that come
yeah,
up to your
yeah.
hotel, take you around. And then we were in Planet Hollywood, and they had the robotic bartenders.
Ah.
So we're there. So we took a picture of those because I was also
Yeah, well, here
investigating.
here in LA, we have the Waymos. They're already everywhere, and I've taken them
Yeah.
several times, and it is kind of weird to see the driver's seat empty. It kind of feels like a ghost is driving you, but there is some, coolness factor to it. But I feel like every generation of the internet for me, I went through nearly 30 years of this, and there's always been this next big revolutionary thing that's going to change it. And there's always some way that we've kind of come out of it with new job opportunities, different job opportunities. Others have failed, others disappeared, and then some of these things they've never lived up to the hype. But I feel AI is going to match a lot of the hype. Yes, it is a bit of a bubble. There is some things that everything under the sun is claiming AI is being used, and it's going to
Mhm.
change things. But I think there will be some sort of a pop eventually on some of that. And then from those ashes, there'll be the real uses and the real things that it can do. And it will continue on the same way we did, with everything else. So
Mhm.
I don't know. That's hard to say, but
I
2026, we're still here.
No, I know, it's so funny. I tell my, little cleaning service, Marina, and the ladies, I mean, they are so sweet, they take care of us and our house for years, but she's like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna have a robot replace me," and I'm like, "Well, I'll name her Marina," but
Ah, hey, it's the Jetsons. The Jetsons may be a, I don't
I
know,
know,
50-year
I
old
know,
cartoon or
I
whatever,
know.
but
And I don't mean to make light of it to those who are concerned about a job, I really don't, but I do think that we have to be don't get left behind, right? Be aware of
yeah,
what's
that's
on, you know? Yeah.
unfortunately with Film Pilot, there has been certain kickback. There has been certain people that were not happy with me doing this. There were some people that they are just pure creative people that they don't want to, they don't want to do it. And I said, look, you either jump on the train and try to learn how to use it, or you're going to get left behind. And I mean, in AI, I've seen so many different other things with the internet over the past 30 years. It felt the same way. A lot of people didn't want to design their websites or build things for mobile. They didn't really want to do anything for mobile. They wanted to stick to the old desktop computer. And, when I travel overseas and I go other parts of the world, they are mobile first. And most of the people only have their cell phones. They don't have desktop computers.
Mhm.
So, you kind of have to eventually jump on. And most people eventually start building apps, making their sites more mobile friendly, focusing more on tech for mobile. And I kind of feel AI is the same way. You kind of have to accept it. None of us can change it. None of us can make it go away. We just either jump on and write it and use it ourselves for the best possible purposes, or we will get left behind, unfortunately. So,
Yeah, we absolutely will. Well, and as we draw to a close, any final thoughts you'd like to leave folks with either for film pilot AI or versus media?
well, for Versus Media, we're always expanding the films that we're broadcasting, and we're helping film fests. We've launched a service as an example that we partner with film fests, and we more or less spin up 24/7 channels with just their content. We're helping them have on-demand versions of their film fests. We're always adding on new musicians that have their music videos. So if you're looking for other avenues and not just getting lost in the sea of YouTubes and etc., you're looking for something else that is indie focused, we're there for that. And if you're a filmmaker looking towards the future and kind of looking for ways to save money in the early days of your pre-production process, filmpilot.ai is where it's at. I mean, this is what we're doing, and we're adding more features on, adding more items on to help in the near future. As time moves on, we hope to have further expansions with it. So either of those are probably the best things to look forward to.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Well, we will make sure and link to that as well. Well, Brian, it's been a pleasure. This is really one of the, again, I haven't had a lot of creative discussions, so I was really thrilled for you to take the time out to visit with us today and talk about all the great things that you're doing. And again, we'll make sure and link to both websites so people can find more about the great services you're offering. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's been great. All right. Have a good day.
I enjoyed having Ryan on the show. I really liked hearing how AI is impacting the creative side of filmmaking and beyond. Check out Ryan's websites in the show notes and learn more about Film Pilot AI. In our next episode, what if we could move beyond scattered AI experiments and instead build a structured approach that delivers real ROI? To get into this topic, I have Patrick Bell on the show. Patrick is a doctoral AI researcher and AI transformation advisor who works directly with CEOs to help them turn AI into measurable business results. Patrick's work focuses on what's actually happening inside organizations as AI creates pressure where visibility breaks down, where decisions stall, and why most initiatives never scale. He will bring a clear executive level perspective on how to move beyond those scattered tools and pilots and get to the desired results. Make sure and tune into this episode. Until next time, take action, execute, and let's run the play.